thanks to the band. Wow, you guys are extra animated today, band. Woo! Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, thank you for the applause. We have a show to get to. Calm it down, everybody.
The crowd is just amazing. You guys look great.
All right, thank you. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dinner in Hell, the podcast where we talk about history's atrocious underbelly. I'm one of your hosts, Brad the Impaler, and with me, as always, it's your boy, the real Ron Maiden. What's happening, Ron?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to get started. We're going to have a great show today. I hope everyone's pumped. Is everybody pumped?
I know I am pumped. I am pumped to a large degree.
So what are we going to talk about on today's episode, Brad?
Well, this week, Ron, we are back on the torture train, and we're going to be talking about something that's like being buried alive, but worse. It's called immurement.
Okay.
Which is Latin for walling in.
I was going to say, I'm used to just calling it walling in because I'm more of a Latin guy.
Yeah, you're the Latin guy generally, but I did see this.
Some say immurement, I say walling in. I come from a Latin background.
You do the translation for us. It's very kind of you.
Just Latin-speaking people at home are like, psh, talking about walling in? Like they knew before you even said that.
They did. Considering it's a dead language, I would like to know who those people are because they could really clear up my Latin pronunciation. All right, so let's talk about what immurement basically is. Walling in is exactly what it is. You are confined to a small space for the rest of your life, which probably isn't going to be that long.
Right.
Because generally speaking, they don't give you any sort of food or water or anything along those lines.
When you say rest of your life, I'm thinking like, okay, so I'm like, here I am, 28 years old, coming on 29, entering my 30s. I'm thinking I got a lot of years left. But
well, if you get immured,
you're saying rest of your life, it could be like 3 days.
Yeah, if you get immured, the rest of your life is about 3 days long.
Okay.
That's how long it generally takes you to die from not having any water. Sometimes they make it probably worse by giving you just a little bit of water every day. Then you die of starvation. That takes like a month.
When you say confined space, what are some examples of confined space? Because I'm thinking like they just throw you in a box, like a box like the size of the size of a couch or something. Like you're in a box.
There are some cases of that. There are some cases of people being immured in very large places too, like whole wings of castles and shit like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes with food and water, but just completely cut off from the rest of the world. Yeah, sometimes they put them in much smaller things too, like a coffin. I don't even know which is worse. Probably the small one.
Yeah.
Well, historically, there's been a few ways that immurment's employed. There are a couple cases of it being employed as a punishment in a criminal code, like a standard thing. Like you do this, you get immured.
Right.
But that's not especially common. That's also immurement is used in human sacrifice. And it's often a consequence of warfare. And there are several interesting sort of one-off immurements that have happened throughout history.
When you describe this immurement, where you're confined to a small space, you die of starvation, you die of dehydration, it's a sucky life. I'm thinking it's kind of like you're describing like children's pets.
Wait, what?
Like if you had like when you get a kid a hamster,
the starter pets.
When you get a kid a hamster or a lizard or something, you're like
a fighting fish.
My lizard died. Yeah, because you freaking immured his ass in your room in an aquarium and never gave it water. Like, what'd you expect? People bring home a cute friggin' gerbil or a hamster,
then forget about it.
Oh, my hamster died. That's a lesson for you. That hamster sacrificed himself for you to learn about immurement.
Yeah.
I'll go bury him in the backyard now.
I know if I ever have kids, I'm going to let them slaughter a small rodent and then use it to teach them a lesson.
Right. I would mount the head just to so they can always look at it and remember responsibility.
Yeah, I'll every day just walk into the bedroom and point at it and be like, this is your shame. This is your shame.
Or make like a cute lamp out of it, like with a little table and like a hat and like he's like reading a book like I'm a hamster.
Like a cowboy hat and a lasso.
Yeah, sure.
That way it's fun while you're shaming the children.
Yeah. Yes, your hamster died, but look how happy he looks. Wearing a top hat.
Make it dress it up like Mr. Peanut.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Now he's a magician.
All right, so let's talk about immurement as a criminal punishment. This happened several places around the world. It's in ancient Rome. Vestal Virgins, dedicated to the goddess Vesta, were to be punished with immurement if they broke their vows of celibacy.
So these are virgin daughters, sacred.
They're like priestesses. If you fuck, they take you and give you a funeral while you're still alive. So they give you like the funeral that any Vestal Virgin would have had, like this honorable ceremony, but you're still alive through the whole thing. Like they carry you through the town on a litter and everything. But then they would take you to like an excavated cave that had a couch, a lamp, and just a little bit of food. Then they'd stick you in there, then they'd fill it in. And then eventually you die after a couple of days.
Wait. They fill it in with dirt, so what's the point of the couch and lamp?
I don't think that part gets filled in. I think they fill in the entrance. Door. Yeah.
So now you have like a nice little dorm to yourself. I mean, if you think about it. I mean, you could be escapism where they're like poking your eyes, filling you with honey and milk. Like our episode 1.
And they even would let her have some light, which I guess would be a small comfort. But fuck, man, like just to sit down there on a couch, like nothing to do. Like, well, eventually when our body runs out of water, I'm dead. It would definitely suck to be buried down there. Would not be fun.
About the fact that it's not like they surprise you with immurement, right? Everyone probably knows the sentence for this is this.
Oh yeah,
treason is this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody knew ahead of time.
So imagine, that you're possibly could be sentenced to immurement. Let's say you're a Vestal Virgin and you know the penalty is immurement. Like, how horny do you got to be to sway away from the path that you're supposed to be on to where you're gonna risk immurement over like this quick episode of sex on the side? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they're probably teenagers.
Yeah, like, oh my god,
teenagers are renowned for
doing things.
Engaging in risky behaviors.
Yeah.
Especially regarding sex.
Like, I hate immurement. The thought of it sucks, but that guy is so cute.
Yeah, Caius?
Caius and his muscles and his sword. Oh my god, Brad.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, what do you... Like, it's kind of shitty. And again, in the long-running theme of history's horrible treatment of women, no mention of what happens to the guy in this scenario. Yeah, let's talk about the baby. Let's talk about the women. And I often I wonder how much of a choice they have in becoming Vestal Virgins. Might not have been their call. Yeah. Yeah, might not have taken that vow willingly, exactly. What if they're like, okay, so you sentence Vestal Virgins to this, right? Okay, yeah, go on. Well, if you think about it, I'm no longer a Vestal Virgin. Loophole. I am not a virgin and no longer. So push your shit on someone else. I'm over here. Yeah, I don't know if that would have flown in the Roman courts. No, their attorney that was appointed to him wouldn't be able to use that angle in a royal court of whatever, trial by. This is the amateur history program. Yeah, we're going to guess at a lot of stuff and you're just going to have to live with it. You'll hear the word like and you'll hear the word or whatever, the words. Like or whatever. So they got like a little tiny, they gave these Vestal Virgins like a little hostel or little dorm down below with furniture. It's kind of like they're getting a little feel for the tiny housing living. Yeah, like those hobbit houses or just like see nowadays. Or yeah, people just have like a house on a trailer, tiny house. I don't know what the hell is the matter with those people, but well, they just don't like to keep a lot of clutter. I don't like feeling like I'm gonna be immured all day long. A fucking tiny ass house. If I want to eat breakfast, I gotta fold down a small table in front of my TV. That's also my stove and my microwave and fridge and bed. Because the house is fucking 6 square feet. Where am I going to keep my drum set if I'm in a tiny house? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're a drummer, you can't live in a tiny house. Where am I going to keep my 4 Marshall full stacks? Right. Not in a tiny house. I can tell you that much. You got to make a table out of your kick drum. Also, another place that was practiced as a criminal punishment is Persia. And relatively modern. There's mentions of it from 1600 all the way up to 1903. They had a really interesting method too. This was for, I guess, any criminals. It just said criminals. So you don't want to commit crime in the Ottoman Empire. Another piece of advice for you time travelers. You're going back to the Ottoman Empire, walk the straight and narrow because some bad shit's about to happen to you.
Watch your step.
Yeah, so what they would do is they would prepare a column out in the desert, like half of a column of bricks. Mm-hmm. And they'd take you out there and put you in, and then they would just finish the pillar around you. If you were real shitty, they would put you in head down.
Head down.
Yeah, and in these cases, the executioner had some leeway.
Wait. You're going in head first, you remain head first until you...
Yeah, definitely.
It's over. The rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
So, you put the guy in... Let's say he doesn't have his mouth gagged. Let's say he's free to speak and curse, scream, and, beg.
I believe that would be the case, yes.
So, and then you got the guys that their job is to be the masons. Like, okay, we're going to need at least 2 union masons out here. It's a union call. It's going to be a 2-man minimum job. It's going to be a 4-hour call out here. And their job is to brick you in, and they got to listen to you.
Yeah.
Like,
they can, and
okay.
you might want to watch what you fucking say to them too, because they have the ability to make this easier on you or harder on you.
How so?
When they're bricking it up, they can mortar everything completely sealed if they want to. If they want to show you the mercy of a quick death, they can seal it. So you'll run out of air really, you're going to pass out really soon.
Wait now. Run out of air or poison yourself with your own exhale.
You poison yourself with your own exhalations.
Dinner in hell education.
We're learning lessons ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they wanted to be a dick to you, they can not mortar it so thoroughly so that air can circulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Air holes.
In the Persian desert.
Like a hamster cage. You can breathe still. You just don't get food or you can't move.
And it's dark and you know you're going to die. Yeah, imagine how eerie it would be. You're traveling alone through a Persian desert, like on horseback, like Lawrence of Arabia type shit. And you start seeing these pillars around.
It's an odd place for a pillar.
Yeah, odd place for a pillar.
Away from town.
Ghostly, sort of. And in the distance, you see the shapes form as you approach them. And then you get close to one and you hear a soft begging for water.
Help me. I'm so thirsty. Agua.
Agua.
Isn't that Persian for water? Agua.
Yeah, I assume they were Spanish speakers.
Isn't Persian Latin based? I don't know. I'm just kidding. So they, you'll hear faint little whimpers for requests for more water.
Yeah, so after 3 days in these pillars, they could be still alive begging for water.
You're on horseback going, man, I hope you had water. Shit.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Camelback.
That would suck to see. It would suck to do. It would suck to have it done to you. All just rotten all around.
Damn, I'm going to put that to a beat. It was suck to see. It was suck to do. Even more so, suck to do to you. I don't know.
If I could beatbox, I'd do it right now.
Do you think rappers ever use the word even more so? Even more so, dog.
I bet you it's happened once. At least once. Like hitherto. Do you think hitherto has ever been in a rap song?
Y'all been tripping even more so. Shit. All right.
All right. So immurement as a punishment also practiced in Mongolia. This has occurred as late as the 20th century. Sometimes it was an execution. Sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes they'd come and get you back out at a certain point. But also used as an execution. And the way the Mongolians did it, the Mongolian way, they would put you in a box that would confine you so that you could neither lay all the way down or sit all the way up.
Yeah, I guess they'd have to build it according to your height.
Yeah, custom. It's custom made.
Yeah.
At least you can feel a little bit fancy while you're going out, you know.
You have to go down and see the immurement box tailor.
Yeah.
Be measured. Come on down.
You'd try to wear like lifts so they fuck it up and you can lay down.
Like, you're the only person wearing pants. Come on, like you don't have stilts on, please. Little 2-foot stilts. No one wears pants in like Persia or Mongolia. They're like,
Yeah, nobody in Mongolia is 7'2", asshole.
yeah, come on, man.
Quit trying to pull fast ones on us.
Yeah, we're gonna make it smaller now.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like you're sitting in the back of like a Ford Probe. You can't lay down. You can't sit up. The leg room is awful. It's like you're in the back of a Mustang or something where there's like no leg room.
Yeah, like a 88.
Like an old baseball.
Like a fastback 88 or something like that.
Like you got nowhere to remove. It's like the back seat of an old Probe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's stupid.
Like, fucking sucks. I can tell you that much. But because this was occurring into the 20th century in Mongolia, there's at least one photograph of it, which I've included in the notes.
Is it the woman with her arm sticking out of the box?
Yeah, trying to mess with like the lock on it. It's you if you're curious, by all means, click on it. There's no gore or anything like that, but it's haunting. Ever since the first time I saw it, it's like it's not left my mind. It's in there forever.
It left my mind. I got over it real fast.
Real fast.
Yeah, I'm cold. I'm cold-hearted.
I was gonna say, I was like, you just took off your hoodie. The fuck you talking about? The Mongolians also, there was other instances of immurement too, in more of a ceremonial vein, right, Ron?
Yeah, like if some like a Khan, like royalty, they didn't just get the box; they got separate immurement, royal treatment.
Yeah, there was one Khan.
You were sentenced with some of your maidens or your the women that do whatever you want for them anytime you ask, and then also you got like your guys, your right hand men that are your protectors, like your security knights or whatever. I don't know what Mongols call them.
Mamluks.
Mamluks, yeah, classic Mamluks.
Yeah, they're a combination. So, but this is strange. They were slaves. They were not free people, but they were also sort of an elevated social class somehow, because they were sort of like analogous to the European knights, like the chivalrous knights. Like, yeah, they had an elevated social standing, but not freedom. They were also slaves.
Like they were allowed to sleep on the inside of the yurt, but not just on the top of the yurt outside. Protecting. I'm just kidding.
Is that a thing? I don't know anything about that.
The slaves are the shingles for the royalty, like in case it rains. Like you just lay up there, keep the rain out. But these guys were allowed to sleep on the inside, and they were given fresh bread. But yeah,
well, so there was a Mongol Khan in the 14th century that when he died was entombed with 4 of his favorite female slaves and 6 of his favorite Mamluks. Now talk about a mixed sort of message. Like, wait, I'm his fate. Like, like you're grieving the death of your beloved Khan, who presumably you're close to, if you were, and you find out I was one of his favorites. Like, and you feel honored for a second, and then they tell you what that means.
Yeah. He was alive when they put him in, right? All of them were alive, right?
Except for the Khan.
Okay, so the Khan was already dead?
Yeah, the Khan was dead, and they were burying him.
Scratch all my shit.
Yeah, the Khan was dead, and at his funeral, when they put him in his tomb, they just also put in the slaves.
Alive?
Alive.
Jack, congratulations, slave. You've been chosen to be his favorite slaves.
Yeah, what a great honor it is.
What if it was not in writing? Like the Khan didn't put please bury me with these slaves. What if people were just like, that guy and that guy were his favorite? I know for sure.
He'll be so happy in the afterlife if we just kill these people right now.
Yeah, I was not his favorite. I was not his favorite. Believe me, he did some awful shit to me.
Yeah,
he hated me.
Yeah, that would not be a pleasant. Because you're already assuming they like the guy. It's like you're already a little bit grieving at his funeral, and then they're like, oh, you thought this was bad? Like, get ready to kick this into overdrive of bullshit. But that was a relatively sort of a common way that people wound up getting immured, was sort of that human sacrifice angle. The first emperor of a unified China, Emperor Qin Shi Huang.
Huang, yeah.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang. I think I'm getting it close.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
He died in 102 BCE, and when he died, all of the imperial concubines, and in order to keep the secrets of the tomb, all of the people who worked, the artisans who built the tomb, got immured with Emperor Huang. May have been as many as 460 people. Qin Shi Huang might be familiar to you if you have seen the Jet Li martial arts epic Hero that was released in 2002. And another recurring theme, we're talking kung fu movies.
Jesus.
Have you seen that one?
No, I don't watch movies.
Oh, it's pretty badass, dude. I would check it out.
Movies give me nightmares.
Well, but also, he may be familiar to you because he was the emperor who was buried with 6,000 terracotta warriors.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It was like statues.
Yeah, same dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, real brutal. Real brutal. And just like, oh, all those people, we can't let the secrets of my tomb out. So all the people that built it, yeah, they're dead. They got to get buried in there with me. But it would be remarkable to possess that kind of bizarre power. We're like, yeah, you're just like, yeah, all those people, they're dying for no reason. And everyone listens to you.
What if you just filled in for like a guy one day on the tomb? Like, we're short a guy, we need a guy who knows how to do cement work. Can you have him show up at dawn, first light, or knock this wall out? And then he never comes back because he's just replacing a guy that called in sick.
Yeah, but then like 2 years later, whenever it's finished up, you got the troops come knocking like, hey, buddy.
You there.
You worked one day.
Yeah, don't think we don't remember. There's a drawing of you.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have cameras. There's a wall painting of you, clear as day. You put 400 people in the tomb. Are they bound? Because, I mean, can they just like get out? Like, help each other? Like, boost me up. Get to the window. There is no window. Okay. Forgot. There's no way.
I presume they just threatened them until they blocked it up and filled it in within, like they couldn't get out.
No. That's weak. Qin Shi Huang just like took all the spirit out of these masons or something because...
They may have just been so brutalized, they were just like, okay, just please don't hurt us anymore, and we'll just go die.
All right, yeah. We'll do this immurement for you.
There's reports, too, especially in Eastern Europe, of people being immured to sanctify the completion of a construction project. Which seems like...
What do you mean?
Like, so, like, I'm building a bridge, and this is the third time I've tried it. The bridge keeps collapsing, and I want to make sure it stands this time, so when I'm pouring the foundations, I'll just put somebody in there.
Yeah.
So, like, their spirit will, like, sanctify it or something and keep it safe.
Like a Jimmy Hoffa was the foundation of, like, the Giants football stadium or something.
Yeah. Jimmy Hoffa.
We'll be talking about Jimmy Hoffa in an upcoming episode. That was a foreshadow.
We could do a Jimmy Hoffa episode.
We promise to not do a Jimmy Hoffa episode. He's just fucking with you people.
If they find him, we'll do a Jimmy Hoffa episode because then we'll probably have some answers. I guess right now we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Did you know, this is a little fun fact, a little immurement fun fact, that there's rumors that there is a small Muslim child immured inside the foundation of each Trump Tower? Did you even know this?
I heard that there were Mexican-American immigrants in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome if Tim Hortons had a fucking little brick pillar at the entrance of every drive-thru and you knew there's a little body in there, like someone's body to like sanctify the completion of a new Tim Hortons.
It's basically the same train of thought. Like if you think throwing somebody into the cement when you're finishing a bridge is going to help the bridge, I guess having someone immured in a pillar in the front of a Tim Hortons will ensure the freshness of the coffee.
Like you look at a building, at least there's a person dead in there. That one less person on the streets we got to worry about feeding.
Yeah, you know those street urchins running around everywhere these days.
Tim Hortons, coffee and baked goods for you. We're going to continue to talk about major name brands unless you guys pay up. Tim Hortons, Trump Tower. We'll continue this.
Yeah, and if you don't pay up,
we'll continue to talk about you.
Yeah, and then people are going to associate you with us.
Yeah, and that's not a good thing.
Nope.
Like you mentioned the photo on Google Images, if you search it, the woman that's in the box with her arm sticking out trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like winter to me. That doesn't look like a hot day.
Yeah, it could be winter.
The vegetation's kind of not growing at that time, so it kind of looked dead to me. So I'm thinking winter.
Yeah, but that's kind of what the steppe looks like all the time.
Okay.
where they live.
Do you want to argue about Mongolian landscape now, or do you want to do this off the air?
We'll have a supplemental episode, 3.5 hours long, where we just talk about Mongolian fauna and flora.
I'm freaking looking forward to that.
It's called Dinner in Hell, going deep. We take one tiny thing and talk about it for hours and hours and hours.
Dinner in Hell Explorer. Tune in for Dinner in Hell Explorer with Bear Grylls. What I do is I drink my own piss when I'm in Immure, and I survive many days. I can survive at least another week by just drinking my urine.
Yeah, what you do is you take like your fingernails and put them on the ground and try to snatch like a small lizard that you'll eat raw.
Yeah.
Then use its bones to pick through the box you're in.
Right.
It can be done.
By biting the head off this lizard, I can then drink its warm blood and use its tail as a lockpick.
And somehow I can stomach this when there is no danger, and I'm going to do it in front of a camera right now. Because I'll tell you, like, if it came down to it, I don't think I'd have any problem just grabbing a lizard and biting into it. If I'm starving to death, I'd do anything. But it's impressive that he can just, like, grab a fish out of the water and just start going to town on it when he could probably fucking have a pizza airlifted in at any moment.
Yeah. Dude will walk up on a carcass and be like, there's lots of meat left on the head. It's a carcass, man.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Vultures aren't even eating it.
Yeah, go hit a drive-thru, bro.
Have your camera guy hand you a fiber bar or something, whatever he's got on him. You know, he's packing.
You didn't go out into that wilderness with at least like a little bit of trail mix or something?
And
Come
like,
on.
Dude's making it like a shelter out of like grass and sticks, and like the camera crew's got like badass tents and like a heater. Like, man, it's kind of sweating in my tent. It's kind of hot
if
in
you turned
there.
it around, there's probably like 4 trailers, like a craft services table.
Yeah, and there's him under like a little sod house he made out of a dead animal. I can use its ribs as a roof. Dinner in Hell Explorer this Thursday. You're talking about sentencing someone to sit in a confined space for a long period of time until they're dead. I'm thinking like David Blaine, the magician's at home, like chilling with like Drake, like kids from Stranger Things, like doing magic tricks, like shit. Confined to a box. This is like my Thursday.
Pick a card.
Check it out. Take a card.
Somehow this is supposed to be exciting, but I have the most boring voice of all time.
Look
David
at it.
Blaine.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Queen of Hearts.
Oh my God. How did you put it in my beer bottle?
Magic.
The whole Dallas Cowboys locker room. Oh shit.
Yeah, but I would pay David Blaine to like come talk me to sleep.
Yeah. Do a magic trick for me till I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Starve yourself, David, in front of me.
I just want you to sit in a little globe of water for 10 days for my fucking enjoyment. Yeah, he'd probably take this shit like a champ. He'd be like, whatever.
He's like a Psst.
I do that shit to myself because I'm a fucking masochist.
I practice Immure every night. I sleep in Immure. I can't lay down or sit up. That's how I sleep. Because I'm David Blaine.
Yeah, he's got to get off on that to some level, don't you think?
I think David Blaine gets all his ideas from Dinner in Hell.
Because he calls it magic, but like there's not even illusion. He just like, I'm going to stand on a pillar for like a week.
I'm going to hang in a box above the city. A glass box. You can watch me not pee for a week.
That's not an illusion. That's a public sadomasochistic display.
The illusion is hiding yourself from going crap like down your pant leg in like a bucket, like so no one can see you. Like, because you don't want anyone. If you're up in a glass box, everyone's watching you in Times Square. They don't want to see you crapping, so you gotta like hide that. Before we end this episode, we should probably mention that we will be having an appearance on the Shakecast podcast. Normally, they discuss local music scene of Michigan.
Allegedly, we'll be having an appearance on the Shakecast.
Next Sunday, episode 7 will be released, which we'll talk about samurais, I believe.
And on that same day is when the Shakecast that we'll be on comes out. You should check those guys out anyway. It's all kinds of good music on there, and they crack you up too.
I like, as far as Shakecast goes, I like their laid back. It's like calming to listen to them. Just two dudes discussing like what they like, what they love.
Yeah, and I got a lot of shit to say about Don Dokken too.
Yeah, they like the political issues of the local music scene.
Yeah, so make sure you go check out Shakecast.
Yeah, especially on the 11th, because we'll be on their episode that comes out the 11th.
Yeah, I'll put a link to their podcast in our show notes this week, so it'll be nice and easy for you. Yeah, but Immurement is pretty badass.
In your research, didn't you discover that bands were naming their band referencing your Immurement?
Yeah, I found 2 bands called Immurement.
I was trying to
Encyclopedia Metallum. If we could shout those guys out, it's a great website.
like.
Yeah, so if you have any badass death metal band names that include Immurement, you can tweet those to us at Dinner and Dwinner.
Chicken winner, chicken dwinner. Are we talking like Immurement's Wish?
Testicular Immurement. That sounds like an awesome band name, like a gore grind band.
How about Total Immurement?
Total Immurement.
Total Immurement at Monster Energy Fest.
Yeah.
Immurement at birth. Immurement at birth. Immurement of the fetus. Forgotten Immurement.
Immured Christ.
Immured on the Sabbath. Gotta throw Sabbath in there.
Immured tomb.
Testicular Immurement where you can't even read it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like suffocation or whatever. We should just start a band. What are we doing? Let's start Testicular.
Yeah, Testicular. And hey, if any of you out there can do those like fucked up logos, make one for Testicular Immurement. If you have any ideas for brutal band names that involve Immurement, you can tweet those to us at Dinner and Hell Pod. You can email us at dinnerandhellpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube. We're at dinnerandhell.com. And please don't forget to rate and subscribe on iTunes. It helps us a lot. Thank you, as always, to the Dinner and Hell band for playing us out. The studio audience has been incredible this week. Thank you so much.
This whole week long of prepping for this show has been just a fun time for me researching this, and I love spending the time doing the show with you, Brad, in front of all these great people.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I had a great time tonight. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a good night. Qin Shi Huang.
Huang, yeah.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang. Qin Shi.
Qin Shi.
Qin Shi
Huang.
Huang. Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang.
Huang.
Huang, yeah.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang. You know what it is.
Qin Shi
Huang.
Huang. Huang.
Huang.
Huang. Huang.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang. I think I'm getting it.